Alright, so it's probably been a day for you guys, but it's been a second for me because I just wanted to end the recording just so I have an episode up for the next day. Anyway, thanks to Rim help, we managed to shake off pedigrees, but the price to do so is so great. Rim and I get separated, and I notice that witch cultists have overrun the entire town as I run as hard as I can.
Rem, please be alive!
I mutter this like a prayer, my legs drawing me ever closer to the royal capital. Royal castle. Part of it is to escape from the clutches of the witch cult, but also
Amelia should be this way.
it's a baseless assumption, but gradually creeps up on me. The witch cult is targeting Amelia, since pedigrees command the cultists are sure to have found out her whereabouts by now. I can try to rationalize my thought process, but to me, right now, it was pointless. I just want to see Amelia, to meet up with her, and to find Rim, too. That's all I want. The sky is orange as I approach the castle, but under the orange sky was a miserable scene with the scent of blood and ash spreading all around me. There were corpses, one after another. I saw corpses upon corpses. I think I saw a lifetime worth of corpses. Do people even see this much death in one lifetime? Yes, if you enter war.
How many people died?
The world was so cruel. It made me think everyone in the royal capital had died. But in a world where death run rampant, only the royal castle is filled with affordable casualties. Because
snow. Cold white snow covers the husks of death underneath. Death here is placid. Everything shrouded in ice. No diversity among friend or foe. I've heard that freezing. Death here is placid. Everything shrouded in ice. No diversity among friend or foe, good or bad. All is frozen still in white. Death is akin to falling asleep. That means everyone here must have died peacefully. Such salvation, however small, would be plenty to ease the mind, considering how plentiful the death is that spreads out before me. A shallow stutter leaks out of my mouth, and I realize I'm smiling. I don't after running so hard. A shallow stutter leaks out of my mouth, and I realize I'm smiling. I don't know why I laughed just now. My body is hot, yet I don't sweat. The air is cold and intense, battering against my bare skin. My tears freeze as they reach my cheeks. Why? I must have been crying. I was powerless. I couldn't change anything. I felt it in my core. How pitiful I was. That's why.
You're too late.
Behind me, the royal castle crumbles with a thundering sound. But I don't turn to look. My body can't move anymore. Am I standing? Or am I sitting? I can't tell. I'm really useless now. I know this is the end. Much like everything else that ended here, I too will end. This cold and freezing death will embrace me and end me.
Sleep, along with my daughter.
A heavy voice roars from above, but I can't look up. I can't do anything. Slowly, my consciousness fades.
So Puck is going to go rampant every time Amelia dies, despite Subaru warning him this time.
In the very end, my lips break off, crumbling away along with my mutterings.
And it might be that Puck doesn't realize. Alright, save my progress.
Stopping to rest? How slothful.
Loop 3, Day 1.
You really bring out the life in everyone, Subaru. Subaru? Hey, what's wrong? Subaru!
My knees go weak and I slink down under my own weight. I shake my shoulder with a frantic look on her face. I want to calm her, but I can't bring myself to. Oops, guys, yep, so I just returned by death. Once again, I returned to the first day of the sleuth. What did I experience? What just happened? The details are too terrifying to reflect on. What I clearly remember is that horrific sight of the royal capital in utter ruin. That masked man in the that man in the mask calling himself the malevolent masked magician. The witch cult having raised the town in. The sin archbishop of the witch cult, Pedagog's Romanee-Conti. Because of their torment, the royal capital was destroyed. No matter where you look, a corpse can be found. I mean, I ended up as another victim, having returned by death. I was prepared for this. I wanted to alter the timeline by strengthening our relationship, but it was no use. It wasn't enough. The fact that the royal capital ended up in shambles means that everyone else there didn't survive either. Crochet, Anastasia, Felt, Priscilla, Melty, and most importantly,
Amelia, too.
It's alright. Everything's okay. I'm right here, Subaru. You don't have to worry.
Suddenly snapped back to reality. Amelia gently caressing my cheeks. The haze in my head slowly clears. What I experience is a burn in my mind, searing my heart. When I look at Amelia here and now, I regain some of the willpower I lost to stand back up.
Sorry, I just got a little dizzy.
That didn't look like something so minor. If something's wrong, please tell me.
No, it's fine. I get dizzy like this sometimes. It happened before, remember?
That's right. It was when you fell asleep on Leah's lap.
Yeah, just like that. Wait, hang on, Puck. Don't just casually bring up something so embarrassing.
I feel I almost want Subaru to just call Puck out. But I know he didn't even realize that he's an apocalypse beast.
You were the one who mentioned it in the first place. Sheesh, don't pin this on me. Anyway, there you have it, Leah. You shouldn't mull over Subaru's convulsive fits of crying or panicking.
That worries me in a different way.
What's up, Mealy?
You say you're okay. But you're not being honest with me, are you, Subaru? If you ever feel like you can't take care of something by yourself, come talk to me. I'll let you off the hook if you at least promise me that.
Got it. Sorry, Mealy.
Don't apologize. If you're going to say something, say thank you. I'll do my best to assist you regardless.
After saying so, Amelia started walking ahead of me. I scratched my head as I watched her.
Leah's a good girl. Don't make her worry so much, Subaru.
Yeah, sorry. Puck, do you...
The only thing I can perceive is a vague impression of how you're feeling. So while I can tell something's troubling you, that's about all I can piece together. Even if you asked me for help, I wouldn't know where to begin.
Man, what an unreliable great spirit.
How rude. If something ever happens to Leah, I'll show you just how reliable
You've
I can
been
be.
unreliable every time, and that's why we died.
I'd rather not witness that.
If something happened to Amelia, I know Puck is just joking around, but he did realize. But the flashback of what happened in the royal capital floods my mind again.
I won't let that happen a second time. That's why...
I returned here to do something only I can do.
Jeez, you all can be really stubborn sometimes.
After she goes on ahead, I only managed to catch up to Amelia right as she about to enter through the gates of the mansion.
Dragon carriage in front of the gate. Dragon carriage in front of the gate. Ah, that's right.
I forgot from all the shock, but Tiga and Sakura, the envoy and emissary sent from the royal capital, have arrived.
Oh, so this is your companion. How interesting.
Tiger looks me over, top to bottom, and nods as if he's confirming something in his mind. I'm not too thrilled about it, but...
What did you tell him about me in such a short amount of time?
Oh, Subaru. I didn't tell him anything weird. I just asked him to wait because my companion has been causing a delay moping about.
Moping.
She's not wrong, but I wouldn't have put it that way.
There's no cause for concern. Even men like us need some time to brood.
Thanks for the consolation. Mealy, don't you have some business to tend to inside?
Oh, yes, that's right. An emissary from the royal capital has visited us. But...
Don't worry about me. I'll just wait out here with my best bud.
Huh? Do you mean me?
Oh, really? I thought you'd much rather want to tag along and listen in.
Wait, you'd let me do that?
This is serious business, so no. Also, you were just sulking, so...
Mealy, could you stop bringing that up, please? You make it sound like I'm some giant crybaby.
Yes. Just don't be rude to our guests, Subaru.
After saying so, Amelia walked into the manor, though she does keep glancing back at me, probably out of concern. But who knows if she's more concerned about my mood or me being rude to Tiga.
Mealy, huh?
What about it? You got a problem with that?
No, I was just thinking of how casual you are with her with such informal name-calling. You may be Miss Amelia's associate, but you're not of noble birth, are you? And considering your conversation, you're likely aware of her position. That's why I thought it all to be rather amusing.
Your role isn't much different. Don't stand there and tell me that you're not involved in the royal selection somehow.
My, you don't beat around the bush, do you? What makes you think that?
Well, it'd be strange to send along a messenger who isn't involved in some way. It's only natural I think you have a hand in all this.
I act as obvious as possible in my reply to Tiga's question. I already know he and Sakura were sent by the royal castle and are part of Melty faction. I also figured that knowing all this will put him a little more on guard.
You've got a pretty good head on those shoulders. But what are you going to do knowing that? Will you strike down the messenger to weaken your enemy's forces?
That'd be way too risky. Don't worry, I won't do something so rash to my best bud.
I'm glad to hear it, my friend. Now that I think about it, I don't think my good friend has introduced himself.
I'm Subaru Natsuki. You can just call me Subaru or Bestie or whatever.
Best what?
Bestie. Where I'm from, it means we're good pals.
Bestie, huh? Well, I suppose I'll call you that at some point. Anyway, I'm Tiga Raulian. As you surmised, I am part of the royal selection, having come here to shed some light regarding the matter. We are affiliates of the Transcendent Dragon Church. The higher-ups are pretty concerned about the proceedings of this royal selection.
I see.
Tiga isn't lying, but he's not telling me everything. In reality, Melty can't work directly with the Transcendent Dragon Church, and Tiga is hiding the fact that Melty is a safe royal candidate. Considering Tiga's apprehension with Melty, I understand his caution.
His concern for Melty, huh?
And Mozart thought over for a moment. When the royal capital was being ravaged, what were Tiga and Melty up to? Since they were residing in the capital, they would have been involved in all that turmoil. So what happened to them? Tiga isn't like me. He's quick-witted and I bet he can hold his own in a fight. I don't doubt that he would have managed to protect Melty, but they wouldn't have been unscathed. Perhaps their hopes for survival had been crushed, and they became victim in the end, too?
Hey, is something on your mind?
No, it's alright. When the chips are down, I'll be sure to save you and all those you hold dear.
That was way heavier than what I was expecting!
Tiger raised his voice, unable to hide in confusion at my resolve behind it. Aside from his reaction, I once again solidified my determination. I definitely stopped at I'll definitely stop that tragedy this time. I need to find a way to save Amelia, Rem, and the citizen of the royal capital. But to do that...
Mealy shouldn't go to the capital.
Huh?
Oh? This is quite sudden.
Once Tiga and Sakura leave, I interrupt the usual conversation that takes place about now. Everyone reacts differently after hearing my aversion to the idea, though it's mostly surprise. It makes sense doing this would keep Amelia from fulfilling her royal selection duties after all.
Why are you suggesting that? It's an issue pertaining to the royal selection, so of course I have to go.
I understand, Mealy. I really do. But think about it. Postponing the royal selection is a big deal in itself. But rushing to the royal capital won't make a difference. If they were going to just tell us why it was postponed, the emissary would have done that already. Seeing as they didn't...
It's not something that can be explained so easily?
Exactly. That means if we want to find out what's going on, we need to ask around and figure it out ourselves. But is that something you're good at, Mealy? To be honest, I don't get the impression that you're good at gathering intel.
Well, I could ask the lesser spirits to direct me.
Amelia trails off, realizing full well that the lesser spirits won't be of any use to us here. Knowing that, her confidence dwindles. Her confidence dwindles. It hurt me seeing Amelia make a face like that, but I have to be blunt here.
If anyone finds out about Amelia, the chances of the witch cult making a move increases.
Last time, and even before, they were the cause of what unfolded. If the driving force of their action is directly tied to Amelia's existence, we need to find a way to stop them. The battle with the Dust Bandits was the main cause of her renown. Subjugating those bandits surged her popularity. Of course, that was exactly what I was afraid of. So I tried to avoid running into the Dust Bandits last time, but that didn't pan out so well. The bandits encounter still occurred even when I shifted the date. That brings up a new question entirely, but the issue right now is finding a way to avoid them altogether. Since the bandits get defeated even when the dates of the event is shifted, I tried not to accompany Amelia this time around. That should help avoid the issue with her fame.
But that's just a temporary measure.
Even if we don't mingle with the bandits, Amelia's name will still spread once the royal selection starts. The royal candidates identified will be known all over for others to see who their next potential ruler will be. That means the witch cult will attack sooner or later, but...
If we manage to delay the witch cult's response by a week or even a month, that changes how prepared we can get.
I need to squeeze out as much time as possible.
Exposing the fake candidate, amassing allies to help fight against the witch cult. It's hard having to do all of this. Am I prepared? I have to do this.
And if Miss Amelia is not to go, what will we do then, Barusu?
Good question. At times like these, it's crucial to scout and gather as much information in the beginning as possible. We can't overlook something so vital, so we'll need to send someone we can trust.
I see. That does make sense. Then who do we send?
Well, I was thinking we could send Rem and me to check on the situation at the royal capital.
I thought you said it should be someone trustworthy. Why are you nominating yourself, Barusu?
It's been more than a month since we met. What's it gonna take to gain your trust?
Do not make me laugh.
She scoffed at me.
I'm also opposed to it. Sending Rem is fine, but I don't think it's a good idea for you to go, Subaru.
Even you don't trust me?
It has nothing to do with that, Subaru. It's just... you were sulking earlier.
Why are you still bringing that up?
But that's not all. There's also... Miss Amelia. May I? Rem? I understand why you are so uneasy, Miss Amelia. However, knowing this, I believe Subaru should accompany me to the royal capital. Subaru needs to have Master Felix heal his body after all.
Ren brings up the issue with my body to convince Amelia. That is the arrangement with Ferris to conduct my treatment. Since Amelia wants me to receive my treatment, it's hard for her to outright reject Rem's argument.
That's true, but
There is no cause for concern. Rem will take responsibility for Subaru. Rem will also thoroughly investigate the reason for the Royal Selection's postponement. I assure you, this is not merely a chance to be alone with Subaru.
Her last bit is a little less believable, but her reasoning is pretty sound. It's enough to leave Amelia muttering to herself as she ponders in a pretty cute way.
I completely understand your point of view, Subaru. I myself had reservations about sending Miss Amelia to the royal capital so frivolously. If you two can fulfill this task yourselves, you may do so. I give you my blessing.
Roswell gives the final words on the matter, settling this conversation once and for all. This time around, Rem and I are the only one going to the capital, royal capital. That means we'll be on our own if the Dust Bandit attacks.
Rem, I'll be counting on you.
Yes. Please leave it to your Rem.
Her firm resolve gives me a little peace of mind. On the other hand, however, an endless wave of concern washes over Amelia when she realizes she will be staying behind.
Don't do anything reckless, you two. And Rem, don't take your eyes off Subaru. Who knows what he'll get up to?
Really? I'm not a little kid.
Don't forget to bring some money with you. Make sure you don't lose your wallet. Also, if you ever get lost, look for a guard station and...
I told you I'm not a kid!
I'll just go ahead and add that this exchange took place too.
Somehow, I managed to keep Amelia at the manor.
This should really help mix things up. Hold on. At the very least, Amelia's absence will have a massive effect on how things panned out at the royal capital.
Keep that in mind and think. What's the correct move to make that will save everyone?
If Amelia doesn't run into the Dust Bandit and doesn't show up in the capital, will the Witch Cult still attack?
It was the royal capital last time, and the manor before that. The Witch Cult must have changed their targets because Amelia was in those places.
Assuming that's the real reason, then on to the next problem. If Amelia doesn't defeat the bandits, will the Witch Cult movement be impacted?
All I can do is test that theory. If they already know about Amelia, then all of this will be meaningless in the end anyway. If that turns out to be true, then we shouldn't hesitate to fend off the Dust Bandits, at least to save us a future headache. No matter what, though, we have to increase our forces to be prepared for when the Witch Cult strikes. Building up our relations with the other candidates went well last time, too.
The attack on the royal capital shifted dates from the previous attack on the manor, so I couldn't bring up any vital information during our previous talks. It may have been possible to team up with the other candidates to fend off the Witch Cult last time, when we had formed closer relation.
This time, I'll have to talk to them without Amelia's help. This is gonna be really tough.
Well, her, I'm just an associate of her. Will they even hear me out?
Am I really that blind? This is beyond stupid of me. This isn't an issue of whether I can do something or not. I have to.
Persuading the candidates and strengthening our bonds with each other is an absolute necessity that will be my main task once I'm in the capital.
No, there's something else too. The issue with the imposter.
You have been mumbling to yourself for hours, and it is annoying Betty to no end, I suppose. You barge in here in the middle of the night and start walking circles around me while muttering to yourself. Do you not realize what room you are in?
What do you mean, Bayako? I know this is a library of sorts, but it's a good place to think things over since no one intrudes on this peaceful atmosphere.
You are the intruder here, I suppose. Betty was enjoying the peace and quiet, and you ruined it, I suppose.
Whoa, don't shout so loud this late at night. You're one restless drill loli, you know that?
I have nothing more to say to you. It has been too long since you were taught a painful lesson, I suppose.
Beatrice lifts her palm as she slowly inches her way towards me.
Hang on there, Bayako. I admit I got a bit carried away, but I'm not just playing around here. I was taking this very seriously, even if I was messing around with you.
And consider this an admission of my
wait, Fritz, sorry.
Then consider this an admission of my annoyance!
Right as Beatrice shot at me, it feels as if my entire life force is being drained from my body. I collapsed shortly after. That's her specialty, a mana drain technique. She hits me with this before when I was recovering from my injuries, and I remember being instantly knocked out.
I shall let you off with that, I suppose. You would do well to learn something from this.
Damn, you don't pull any punches as usual. It's like my entire skeleton was ripped out of my body. Wait, ripped out?
I think back on what happened to me and something strange latched onto my thoughts. I replayed the memories in my mind over and over to figure out why didn't hit me.
When Wolf attacked Rem, she said something similar.
That's right. She said she felt like something was stolen from her, from within her, but she didn't have any external injuries, so we didn't know what exactly happened. I think I know the answer now. Wolf did the same thing to Rem as Beatrice did to me. He drained our mana.
Nice one, Bayako! Thanks to you, I solved one piece of the puzzle! You're the best!
Oh, what? Let go of me, I suppose! Put me down this instant!
You told me before that not many people can use that technique. That was the biggest hint. I can finally see a light at the end of the tunnel! That's my Bayako! You're simply amazing! How to raise you to the heavens!
Behave yourself, I suppose! Good grief. This is no time to be joking around. Betty has been defiled, I suppose. I will have Bubby console me tomorrow. What a detestable man, I suppose.
Day 2, Loop 3.
I got some good sleep last night.
Alright, with that being said, I'm going to end this episode here, and next time we'll be proceeding with Day 2. Take care.